This happened around 2008. I'm male and was 23 at the time this all began. It was the weekend, and an old high school friend reconnected with me online, so we decided to go grab a beer at a bar by his town, which was the same town I went to college at. It was my turn to get around, so I went up to the bar of this dim, dirty dive bar and asked for a bucket of beers. As I was waiting for my beers, a girl approached me, and let's call her Jane. "Hey, do you remember me?" I really did not know or could not remember meeting her, so I said something like, "I'm sorry, I talk to a lot of people at my job. Can you refresh my memory?" She stated she took a class with me and worked with me on a group project. I still had no idea who she was, however. She knew my name and my class I was in. I wasn't really interested in talking to her, so I politely said, "Well, nice to see you," and went back to my friend at the table. I leave about 1 hour later and head home. I remember I took a shower and was getting ready to go to bed. I checked my phone before I got into bed, and an unknown number called me 2 times and texted and left me a voicemail during the time I was in the shower. The text was from Jane saying it was great seeing me and that I looked cute or something along the lines. It was very flirtatious. I again wasn't going to lead a girl on, so I responded politely saying it was cool seeing her as well. I was weirded out because I did not exchange phone numbers at the bar. She may have had it on her old list if she was in my class. When I woke up, I had over 10 texts sent to me inviting me over to hook up. It was point blank, just telling me come over. I laughed it off at first and was kind of flattered, but my thought was, man, she must have drank a lot that night. I didn't respond as I felt it would be awkward. Then the real stuff begins. I worked in an office where I could not have my cell phone out, and it's a very professional environment. On my break, I powered my phone on 19 missed calls, 20 texts, and approx 10 voicemails. I freaked out as I thought there was an emergency. But everything was from Jane. These messages go from hellos to sexual advances, to anger why I'm not answering, to I'm sorries, to sobbing I'm sorries, and to threats of self-harm if I don't respond. I was beyond freaked out, but I texted to see if she was okay or needed help. She texted me as if it was the greatest day of her life hearing from me. I then let her know I felt her messages were inappropriate and that I didn't want to give her any feelings that I wanted to date her. I was young and wanted to experience dating, but not with her. From the beginning, this just was so odd to me. She began to go through cycles of anger. I began getting 40 calls and messages. I decided it would be best to just stop responding. This went on for over 1 week, day and night calls and messages. Then one message caught my eye. She mentioned where I work. I never told her this. There was a Wendy's a stone's throw away from my job. I got paranoid leaving work thinking she was following me. I'd drive around for a while before going home from work. I remember sending her one last message stating if she contacts me again, I would call the police. At the time, I had to pay a monthly fee on my cell phone to have the number blocked. But I never heard from her again after. All right, I'll get right into it. Fight 23. My friend 21 hostel in Poland and could not get the door to open even though we had the code. These 2 men who claimed they were also staying there offered to help us, but we could not get in until someone else came out of the building. At first, these guys were nice and helped us carry our luggage up the stairs to the hostel. Surprisingly, there was no one at the check-in desk, even though the owner specifically asked that we check in at this time, because we already knew what room we were supposed to be in. The 2 guys helped show us to our room, and we all made pleasant introductions. They were 32 and 33, if I remember correctly, and they left us to get settled. But we realized at this point that without being able to check in, we did not have keys to enter the building or even lock our door. Now here's where things got weird. We were already feeling a bit sketched out by the situation, as it was clear that that hostel was just a converted apartment. But that's what you get for yurt in the night, I guess. We then hear a brief knock on the door, and without waiting for a reply, these two dudes come back into our room to talk. I think the younger one of the two starts talking to us about going out that night and asking more questions about us. And at this point, my friend and I are exchanging looks. He mentions that he thinks I'm the one in charge because my friend looks young, and then proceeded to stroke his hand down her cheek. But wait, it gets better. He then reveals to us that he just did some cocaine and proceeded to offer us some, which we both adamantly declined. At this point, I just wanted him out of the room so we could have a chance to think, and this man did not want to leave. I finally backed him towards the door, but he wouldn't move his body so I could close it all the way, and kept talking to us even though I was trying to gently shove him out. I finally got the door to close and then used my body to hold it shut. At this point, my friend had tried to call the owner multiple times to no avail, so we decided to book another hostel and leave. We waited until we heard the guys leave and booked it out of there to our new hostel, and are in the process of getting a refund since we booked and paid the fee online. So, creepy hostel men, let's please never ever meet again. When I was 17, my bedroom had a window looking out at my backyard. The backyard was fenced in, but on the other side of the fence was some woods and a retention pond. I'd never been scared of this, and kept the blinds open so that when the sun rose in the morning, the natural light would help wake me up. One night, I was up late on my phone with my dog laying in bed next to me. At around 2 a.m., my dog jumped up and started barking at the window. At first, I thought he was just barking at his reflection and told him to stop. But I then realized he was looking at the left side of the window while his reflection was on the right. I couldn't see outside the window because I had left the lamp on my nightstand on. All I could see in the window was the reflection of my bedroom. Not wanting to alert whatever might be out there that I was scared, I faked a yawn, set my phone aside and turned off the lamp, then laid down facing the window. And I swear I saw a set of human eyes looking back at me from the left side of the window. I drink a lot of water at night, so I had an empty bottle on my nightstand. I grabbed it and pretended to just realize it was empty. I turned on the lamp and acted like I was going to get water. I went to my parents' room. My dad told me not to worry. We had these motion-activated floodlights and they hadn't turned on, so there was no way anything was out there. I went back to my room and told myself I was just seeing things. I closed the blinds and turned on the lamp and got some sleep. When I woke up in the morning, I went to take my dog out and decided to check out the pine straw bedding underneath my window. It was visibly disturbed. I did my best to ignore that and remember what my dad said about the floodlights. That worked pretty well, until my dad tested the floodlights later that day and found that the bulbs had burnt out. This day, I keep my blinds closed and my lamp off when I sleep. I don't want to risk anything being able to see me. And if anything is somehow peeking through my window, I want to know it's there. If there was someone at my window that night, let's not meet. Thanks for watching and joining us on this spooky journey. Don't forget to subscribe for more bone-chilling content. Stay brave, stay curious. And until next time, sweet nightmares.